traditional Rudraksha earrings.
through the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanapurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Now we'll be paying our gratitude to all the Guru Parampara, the Gurus that have trained Swamiji through the Guru Parampara Vandanam. Nithyanandeshwara Paramashiva Samarambha, Nithyanandeshwari Paramashiva Shakti Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara. So before we begin the whole session, we will be knowing a little about who's the SPH and what is his role and everything. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Nithyananda Paramashivam, is recognized as the 1008th living manifestation of Bhagavan Paramashiva, the Paramavatara of Paramashiva as per Sanatana Hindu Dharma or Hinduism, and by his predecessors, that is his gurus of enlightened masters and adepts. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam is reviving Hinduism as 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, the head for all spiritual leaders of Atal Akhada, which is the ancient apex body of Hinduism. Coronated as Mahamandaleshwar, supreme spiritual head of Mahanirvani Akhada, that is the largest apex monastic order, and the youngest Mahamandaleshwar, ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Tonde Mandalam Adinam, ordained as the 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shyamala Pita Sarvagni Pitam, ordained as the 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Dharma Mukti Swarga Paramadinam, and coronated as the 203rd Emperor of Suryavamsha Surangi. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam is the reigning spiritual emperor of 20 ancient traditional Hindu kingdoms and reviver of the most ancient, most peaceful, still living and long-lasting demonstrable system that shows the possibility of peaceful coexistence and amongst people. Following the coronation of past 27 years, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, as the face of unified Hindus, has been single-handedly, tirelessly inspiring the dispossessed Hindu diaspora to reclaim their Hindu-centric freedom and stand unified for the centuries-old Hindu genocide. The 1008th living manifestation of Paramashiva, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, stands as a unifying force for 2 billion born and practicing Hindu diaspora worldwide and established the Hindu state Kailasa for the persecuted Hindus in over 100 countries. SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam has made resolute efforts towards recognizing and legitimizing the Hindu genocide, which has been receiving scant consideration by global leaders and international bodies. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam founded Kailasa Uniting Nations. And this is more about Kailasa, the one and only Hindu nation the SPH has established in today's world. Hinduism is the most ancient, most peaceful, still living and long-lasting demonstrable system that shows the possibility of peaceful coexistence amongst people despite fundamental differences in their preferences and realities. Over the last 50 years, the effects of meditation and its significant impact on stress, crime rates, violence, political decisions making, and even war in local and global consciousness is well established. Unfortunately, last 200 years, forcibly, we are made to believe Hinduism is functional principle only for enlightenment and spirituality, and it is absolutely dysfunctional for the political political, social, economical system. Making Hindu social structure dysfunctional is the greatest crime done against humanity. So Hinduism was once practiced freely in over 56 nations across the continent from Afghanistan, India, Nepal, Burma, Sri Lanka, all the way to Singapore, Malaysia, and Cambodia and Indonesia. And in 200 states, 1,700 samasthanas, that is provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas, traditions. Over several centuries, the combined forces of foreign invasion, political upheaval, colonialism, and religious persecution systematically ended millennia of Hindu Swarajya or self-rule. So today, Hindu temples remain in few countries, but the Hindus who worship in them have been ethnically cleansed. Because of this heavy persecution that's been happening for centuries on Hindus, the Kailasa, with de facto spiritual embassies operating across over 100 countries and having presence across the globe as the largest spiritual knowledge source on Hinduism, is spiritually governed with the life positive, all-inclusive, universal policies sourced from Hinduism, revived by the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam. Having enriched more than 1 billion individuals over the past 27 years, the Kailasa raises the voice to protect Hindus, defend Hindus, and preserve the Hindu narrative for the whole world. Now we'll be moving on to Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Everything regarding Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, the components involved, the sacred truths, revelations revealed by the SPH, and how yoga is benefiting all of us, not just our body, but our being and our soul. So moving on. For most yogis around the world, enlightened master Patanjali is the father of yoga. He presented a system called Ashtanga Yoga, comprising 8 dimensions of yoga, approximately 3,000 years ago. Little we know that yoga was revealed in detail by Bhagavan Paramashiva, the first and foremost guru, who revealed Shashtanga Yoga over 60,000 years before Patanjali. So Bhagavan Paramashiva reveals Shashtanga Yoga in the Kirana Agama, Yogapada 2.3, one of the original authentic scriptures on yoga. So most of us know that Patanjali is the father of yoga, but little did we know that Bhagavan Paramashiva is the one who actually revealed the source knowledge on yoga 60,000 years ago. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, the 1008th incarnation of Bhagavan Paramashiva, has revived Shashtanga Yoga through Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga is the essence, the best of 1 million yogic scriptures available from all the sampradayas of Sanatana Hindu dharmas, Veda agamic tradition as per the vision of Bhagavan Paramashiva himself to manifest extraordinary superhuman powers or Shaktis through yoga. So Swamiji has beautifully compiled all the yogic scriptures, and he has compiled it through making Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga by making us imparting the knowledge, imparting the experience, and the experience for us to manifest the space of Shaktis through Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. So the first thing you need to know is that yoga did not originate from Patanjali. Patanjali is the organizer, not originator. That's the first thing you need to know, said the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam. With all my respects, in Bhagwan's own words, with all my respects to Patanjali, I want to declare this truth to the whole world. At least 15,000 years ago, Patanjali, a being, walked on planet Earth, assuming the physical form Adi Guru, Bhagavan Paramashiva, the founder and father of the yoga system. Patanjali Yoga Sutra is a great book, no doubt, but not the first book. Unfortunately, many popular yoga gurus all over the world always stop with Patanjali. Very few say yoga was before Patanjali, and even if they say, they are not able to present the scriptures and literature. The second important truth is that yoga is from Hinduism. Always ask for the original source. It is unfortunate that the original scriptures revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva are not available for the mass. We need to understand that yoga cannot be developed and cannot be separated from Hinduism. It is a perfect system that was revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva and further organized by living enlightened masters, disciples of Bhagavan Paramashiva, over thousands of years, with a clear purpose and vision. Yoga is a complete science that has taken into account all types of bodies, past, present, and yet to come in the future. Altering yoga is not development but dilution. So in today's world, you see a lot of different crazy yogas that are happening: goat yoga, bear yoga, All these yogas are not development from the source or the original yoga, but it's a mere dilution that is not going to benefit way. Yoga is a science radiating enlightenment. The third important truth is that, in Bhagavan's own words, yoga is not just a science of keeping you, not just the ability to stretch your body, it is ability you better man. Yoga is all about making you a superman. So understand, I will become healthy. I can manifest a body that only benefit us only in the body. No, you being a superhuman, you can manifest so many other things rather than just health. So yoga speaks a lot, but we have not been told all these truths. But with the grace and blessings of the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, he has revealed all of this through Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. So yoga, the best that can happen to you on path of yoga is getting rid of all self-doubt, self-hatred, and self-denial, the root cause of all incompletions. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam actively teaches the science of completing with these, collectively called STHT, discarding all mental patterns that limit us from living to our highest potential. Yoga is the ultimate, merging the individual consciousness with the cosmic consciousness. It is designed to experience oneness, that is Advaita, and express all the mystical powers outlined by Paramashiva. As long as we carry inadequate, immature cognitions about ourselves, about life, others, God, world, we continue to feel separate from the world. When we complete with all our limited cognitions and discover our true self, yoga happens. That is when real yoga happens. Now, seeking the source. What does it exactly mean? The Veda Agamas are the source book of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. So all the scriptural references, all the authentications that we abide by are from Vedas and Agamas. That are the source Hindu scriptures. The revelations from the Vedas and Agamas form the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural authority on truth, which came down directly from the mouth of Bhagavan Paramashiva to his consort Devi Paramashiva Shakti. So this was told, this whole science of Veda and Agamas was revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva to his consort Devi Parashakti. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam reveals Vedas are ultimate superior authority for the Hindus. Vedas are like a pure science where the ultimate truths are explained, but Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is explained. All the Hindu bodies accept Vedas and Agamas as Shruti, that which is heard, and everything else follows as Smriti, the remembered scriptures. Agamas are directly revealed by Bhagavan Paramashiva. They are more like a practical manual of how to, what to, where to, when to. All these details are answered with the right context, giving enough of understanding, and I should say, in Bhagavan's own words, in a more sympathetic, compassionate way, with a lot of concern for human beings with tremendous user friendliness. So Agamas and Vedas are described by the speech that it is completely user friendly. Next slide. Now we'll be moving on to pramanas, the four authorities and evidences of truth. So each and every yoga poses, the breathing techniques that is involved in Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, understand they are authenticated by these pramanas, or they are the scriptural references from the Vedas and Agamas. Right? So we have four pramanas, starting off with Shastra Pramana. Shastra Pramana is scriptural evidence, the direct ultimate authority on the truth as it is, for it is directly from Bhagavan Paramashiva, the Adi Guru, the original Guru, the source of all that is. In Sanatana Hindu Dharma, Veda Agamas are the irrefutable Shastra Pramana. All knowledge, currents, philosophies, rituals, and lifestyle systems and yogic sciences for humanity are in depth systematically revealed in Vedas and Agamas from the Pramanas. The next is Apta Pramana. Apta Pramanas are the ancient, great, authentic, time-tested, foolproof compilations of experiences of enlightened sages, all the rishis, siddhas, munis, incarnations, the direct disciples, followers, and descendants of Bhagavan Paramashiva. Like the Sapta Rishis, Maharishis, including the enlightened ones such as Patanjali, Valmiki, Agastya Mahamuni, Abhinava Gupta, Kshema Raja, Paramahamsa Yogananda, etc. The compiled experiences verify and expand further on the Vedas and Agamas, forming Apta Pramana. So Apta Pramana are the direct experiences of great sages and seers that have practiced these truths, and they have put their own experience on reading the Shastra Pramana, experiencing the Shastra Pramana, and giving their Apta Pramana. Now, Atma Pramana are the direct experiences of the living avatar, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam. His own experiences through on yoga, who is respected, revered as a living incarnation by millions of people worldwide in the space of pure oneness or Shuddhatvaita with Bhagwan Paramashiva. The Atma Pramanas of the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam form the words of his gurus, his own experiences, and all that he has learned and directly experienced and done thorough verification and authentication with the Shastra Pramana and then presented to the world. The last one is Sakshi Pramana. Sakshi Pramana are the evidence of the experiences and sharings of the people who directly experience the Pramanas as a living applied reality in their lives as a manifestation of his Atma Pramanas. In this series, the Pramanas are presented from different Veda Agamas from the various system or proportions of the Agamas, such as the Jnanapada or Vidyapada, the knowledge section from Agama Kriyapada, the ritual sections from Agamas, Yogapada, the Yogapada knowledge and science section, Yogapada knowledge and science sections, Shrayapada, the enlightened lifestyle from Bhagwan Paramashiva. Now we'll be moving on to the 12 components involved in Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Understand, Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga is unlike any other yoga. It is completely different and it has 12 components incorporated. So most of you might know that yoga is just a posture that is being done using your body, but no. Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga presents you that yoga is not just asanas, but it's also incorporated with other 11 components that actually helps you manifest the Shaktis of Paramashiva and also helps you realize your true self. So we'll be getting into details of what are these 12 components and what we exactly do during Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Yes. So the 12 components of yoga, the ultimate truths in the field of yoga, 12 components of each asana. Asana is the physical posture, pranayama, the breathing structure, mudra, the energy circuit connections, bandha, internal awakening of Kundalini Shakti. 12 various components of each asana following into the vinyasa krama of 1008 postures with the valid Shastra Pramana, Apta Pramana, Apta Pramana. It will be made as a Sakshi Pramana for you. So all of you who will be practicing the Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga will be the Sakshi Pramana, experiencing Paramashiva himself through doing this yoga. So the Pratama Vinyasa Krama has 108 asanas. Dvitiya Vinyasa Krama has 308 asanas. And Tritiya Vinyasa Krama has 508 asanas. Chaturtha Vinyasa Krama has 1008 asanas. You are going to have the Parama Yoga revealed by Paramashiva himself through all these 3 Vinyasa Kramas. Now, Vyakta and Avyakta. We'll be understanding the concept of Vyakta and Avyakta. To truly understand why yoga should be practiced with all of these components, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam revealed the first principle of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga as Vyakta and Avyakta, the manifest and unmanifest. In the scientific community, Vyakta and Avyakta is commonly understood as matter and antimatter. Authentic yoga is meant to deliver both Vyakta and Avyakta experientially to the practitioner. The manifest parts of our body and consciousness are more familiar to us, yet tangible. Outward physical movements would be considered as manifest aspect, but it is the unmanifest which begins to reveal itself in our body through Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Each of the 12 components of yoga work on the unmanifest layer, the Avyakta, the antimatter, anti-sound, anti-sex. Anything done in the level of Usha, the expression or matter, due to matter's quality of going up and down, does not stay permanently. Anything done in the level of Chaya, all existence, that is antimatter, as it does not go down, stays permanently. If it is done on Usha, it will work only on your mind. But if it is done on Chaya, it will remain in the body permanently. Remnants of body is in the altered form. The power manifesting form exists longer than the remnants of the mind in altered states of consciousness. So this basically speaks about how important the unmanifest component is in our body, or how it is very important for us to explore the unmanifest components in our being. Exploring this unmanifest component helps us, helps all the benefits, all the goodness of yoga stay permanently in our body. And Vyakta and Avyakta both are experientially given to you through Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. So during the process of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, the yogi intensely withdraws from the body the form they are connected, allowing them to experience teleportation and materialization. When materialization happens, the antimatter from the avyakta, that is unmanifest form, enters into vyakta and becomes matter. By the end of the entire sequence, the yogi will be able to immediately manifest at least 21 powers without a single doubt. Next. Now, we'll be moving on to what are the 12 components of our Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, starting off with the first component, asana, or commonly known as the posture, the yogi posture. So maybe the most widely discussed topic in yoga today is, what does asana mean? Is it sitting, a certain posture, movement? Like most understandings, the only way to truly discover the truth is to go to the original source. This text itself is the original source book revived in modern form. It is dedicated to unveiling the truths from about asanas, revived from the almost lost sacred palm leaves gifted to humanity thousands of years ago from Paramashiva, Adiyogi himself. Since most people are either in a state of restlessness, that is rajas, or tiredness, tamas, the body needs preparation to enter into the experience of yoga. Asanas allow the body and mind to come to a state of balance and restful awareness, sattva, where one can easily enter into the deeper and more subtle dimensions of yoga. A person is made up of three bodies: the physical or gross body, that is Sthula Sharira, the subtle body named Sukshma Sharira, and the causal body named Karana Sharira. Chakras are the subtle energy centers that are present at the intersection of the physical and the subtle and the causal body. They are aligned in an ascending column from the base of the spine to the top of your head. Asanas involve placing these centers in relative positions with each other. Those positions can be represented by geometrical figures. So, practicing asanas can align all your 7 chakras. This is from the scriptural source Hatha Tattva Kaumudi, chapter 9, verse 18 and 19. This is the translation. If the asanas are practiced in a certain manner, one becomes prepared for the purification of the nadis. It is excellent in alleviating the diseases. Prana and bodily heat are enriched. Minor diseases are also cured, and bodily heat and prana is stimulated. One feels light, lifespan is enhanced, premature death is prevented. Some of the benefits of asanas include optimizing the digestive functions. For example, Matsyendrasana from Hatha Tattva Kaumudi, regulating fever and imbalances caused due to the humors. Example, Mayurasana, Hatha Tattva Kaumudi. So here they are telling you the benefits and the corresponding asana that helps you reach this benefit with the scripture source also. Next. The next benefit goes removing fatigue. For example, practicing Shavasana can give you mental stability, and practicing Virasana can enhance enthusiasm and stamina in your body, and practicing Siddhasana can ensure success to the yogi. So you being a yogi, inspired yogi, you will taste success every time by just doing this asana, just doing Siddhasana. So all of these benefits, to that detail, Bhagavan Paramashiva has given these asanas and elaborate benefits revolving these asanas. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam describes asana as steady and comfortable body postures to tune oneself with the cosmos. Ultimately, asana means many things. Physically, whether standing, sitting, laying, or jumping, asana is when our muscles are completely comfortable and relaxed. They are alive, stable, and comfortably stacked upon one another. Asana is when the body is bending, stretching, and aligning itself to the cosmic geometry. The context of asana is not restricting itself to some physical posture. It's not a place that the body is in, but a space. Nididhyasana, for instance, is when we are radiating excitement, joy, and bliss for life, regardless of physical positioning of the limbs. The most important understanding of asanas is it's not a practice at all. It is a happening, a manifestation which happens through asanas. We do not practice sitting with God. We embody God, Paramashiva himself. It is from this space of Paramashivoham when we are intent on the vow of living like a god, that we are performing an authentic asana. Through intensely flowing through the Pratama Vinyasa Krama of the 108 asana, the body simply falls in tune with the cosmos. Not just Pratama Vinyasa Krama, all the stated Vinyasa Krama, Pratama Vinyasa Krama, Tritiya Vinyasa Krama, Tritiya and Chaturtha Vinyasa Krama. Practicing all of these Vinyasa Kramas, your body will inevitably fall in tune with cosmos, aligning with the perfect cosmic geometry. The next component is pranayama. Pranayama is a term that refers to the breathing process, the breathing technique that is incorporated. The air you breathe is just a vehicle in which the prana, life energy, comes in and goes out of your body. Bhagavan beautifully says, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam beautifully says that what we human beings do not how to breathe. We don't know how to breathe actually. So pranayama helps us to align how to breathe. So when we were born, we knew exactly how to breathe. As we started growing up, we lost the authentic breathing in our system. We our breathing is not aligned to how we are actually supposed to breathe. So by practicing pranayama, your breathing completely gets aligned, and when your breathing gets completely aligned, just that is enough for you to eradicate all these major and minor diseases in your body. So pranayama is the air you breathe is just a vehicle in which the prana, the life energy, comes in and goes out of your body. When you inhale, the air comes in carrying prana, and when you exhale, the empty air goes out. This life energy is universal. Yoga Kundali Upanishad 19 verse states, Prano dhame tadanim pravakshami samasatah pranascha dehago vayurayama kumbhaka smritaha. The translation goes, then I shall presently relate briefly about the control of the vital air. Prana is air coursing through the body. So Paramashiva describes pranayama as being composed of three processes. The first one being Rechaka, the next is Puraka, and the third one being Kumbhaka. Puraka means inhalation of prana from outside of the body. Kumbhaka refers to holding the breath like a filled up pot without moving the limbs, and Rechaka refers to the exhalation of air from the body. So consistency has greater mental abilities, slowing the aging process, ridding the body of powers such as levitation, teleportation, and materialization. And pranayama is where yoga reveals itself as much more than a mere physical practice. No other discipline has understood and presented the means to regulate and expand one's own life, to the purification of energy body and its channels called nadis, and to the ultimate experience of manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Through proper asanas, that is a yogic postures, physical well-being is achieved. Muscles are toned, the nervous system is strengthened, and vital organs are regulated and brought into a state of health. Thus, the body becomes ready for pranayama. It is with pranayama that the real technique of yoga begins. The next is mudra. The third component out of the 12 components is mudra. So what is mudra exactly? Mudra refers to the positioning of limbs, fingers, or even tongue in a certain way to seal this prana in our body, a way of aligning to the cosmic geometry. So the SPH defines mudra simply as an energy circuit connection. Mudras are a way to simulate the flow of prana shakti. That is a life force, energy, and cosmic currency inside us. There is a constant flow of prana happening in our bodies through the nadis and chakras, but much of it usually gets dissipated. That means it gets lost while entering our body into the external world. This dissipation into the external world is responsible for the feeling of tiredness, confusion, and powerlessness that we experience. So through mudras, this whole thing is straightened and aligned, and by practicing mudras, we are able to breathe in as much as prana our body requires, so our body is aligned to the cosmic geometry. So mudras are psychophysical processes which help accelerate the effect of an asana and pranayama to take us to a higher state of consciousness by positioning the body in certain way to block this dissipation of prana and direct it inwards. Mudras create the space for pratyahara and dharana, the higher experiences of yoga to happen in us. Throughout the Tritiya Vinyasakrama, you will experience mudras of the hands and of the gaze called drishti. The Shastras, the scriptures that are direct revelations from Bhagavan Paramashiva, reveal the layer of benefits that can result from the integrated practice of mudras, ranging from health and longevity to mental focus, awakening the subtle groups of the brain responsible for higher emotions such as devotion and gratitude, to the ultimate experience of transcending our limiting cognitions we carry as human beings and living and radiating the state and space and shaktis of Paramashiva. So each and every second you spend doing Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, understand your whole limiting cognitions that you've been carrying for years breaks, and you are being pushed into the space of complete possibility to manifest anything you want in your life. You can directly manifest your realities, and you can directly manifest you being Paramashiva himself through practicing Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. It is mentioned repeatedly in the scriptures that initiation by the Guru holds the master key that can transform us from human beings into superhuman beings. That is actually the beauty of Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Understand, we have a living incarnation of Paramashiva himself as our beloved Guru, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam. And just through his initiation, so much of our effort is taken care of by the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam through his just one touch of initiation. We are able to manifest breakthroughs after breakthroughs by doing yoga itself because of the living presence of Swamiji in our lives. Paramashiva, it is mentioned repeatedly in the scriptures that yes, Guru holds the master key, and Guru himself can transform us as superhumans through practicing yoga. Paramashiva says in the Shiva Samhita, the next, we'll read the translation directly. The Akashic revelation of the previous scriptural reference says, in this way, through the Mahamudra, even the most unfortunate yogi might obtain success. By this means, all the vessels of the body are aroused and stirred into activities. Life is increased and its decay is checked, and all sins destroyed. All diseases are healed, and the gastric fire is increased. It gives faultless beauty to the body and destroys decay and death. All fruit of desire and pleasure are obtained, and the senses are acquired. The yogi, fixed in restful awareness, acquires all the above mentioned things through practice. There should be no hesitation doing so. This is an apta pramana, and the Akashic revelation clearly states the ancient seers' experience of the Shastra Pramana, saying that when a person practices his Mahamudra, that person inevitably reaps all the benefits of premature death and all of that when he just merely practices Mahamudra, right? Research has revealed the health benefits gained by practicing mudras include freedom from disease, hunger, thirst, fainting, fatigue, indigestion, skin diseases, constipation, and more. And all of these above stated problems are something that you see in your day-to-day lives that people are going through, right? Fatigue, fainting, indigestion is something that you come across every day. Some you go through it, or your friends or your family or your loved ones go through it always. And none of us know that the answers are lying right in front of us, right? Besides this, mudras directly activate the prana and awaken the inner potential energy, Kundalini Shakti in us, manifesting the space, state, and Shakti of Paramashiva. Mudras are a crucial component of yogic method for Kundalini awakening. Kundalini is the ultimate inner potential bioenergy that is available to each one of us. It is the largest untapped natural resource lying with humanity. When Kundalini and right technique, right process, and above all, through the direct Diksha, that is initiation from the living avatar incarnation, it can give us anything we want. So all these untapped, unknown potential are there within us that we have not completely explored yet. But understand, easily explore your inner powers, your potentials, your possibilities, and you'll be able to understand that you are the source for all
Wearing the Rudraksha necklace on the Vishuddhi chakra as the Kantamala given by the Guru radiates the energy of the mantra initiated by the Guru, acting as a mechanized japa for the yogi. Performing the Nityananda Yoga sequence while wearing the Kantamala and the Sundaravaram takes the ritual of yoga to the next level, infusing the yogi with the master's energy and oneness space at all times. Another component of Nityananda Yoga is visualization. In the science of yoga, context and intention are everything. Why you bend your body matters. For whatever intention you move the body, that experience will be delivered to you. That is why in Nityananda Yoga, we maintain the space of yoga as a ritual, as a direct connection between and us. With every asana, it is important to maintain a strong visualization of that asana. When we keep a clear visualization of each form we are embodying, the body can settle into the depth experience of each and every posture. One of the most important components of Nityananda Yoga is chanting. Mantra is a Sanskrit word. Spiritual power, with or without syntactic or literal meaning. A disciple needs to be initiated into a mantra by his guru, using the right procedures, mantra diksha, for the mantra to have its maximum potency for that individual. It is given by the guru and received with gratitude and respect by the disciple.
Sorry for the technical
Clear
glitch.
instructions are given in order to experience the truth of the mantra.
So Bandha is
Mahasadashiva
conducive of contraction of pressure in the body and contractions of different body parts. Bandhas is the body that pump energy into the is that you seal the prana in your body, right? So there is your normal inhalation, there is your normal exhalation, but there is another intermediate component where you seal the prana in your body for some time. So the prana works, its powers, prana works its powers in your body just because you are holding the prana in your body, right? Through that, you are able to eradicate so many diseases, or all these subtle grooves in your body that is not aligned can be just fixed by prana being in your body for a longer time than normal. Because when we normally inhale and exhale, we don't often keep the breath or the air or the prana inside us. Just by doing this, so many benefits your body can achieve. Right, so this is one of the major components you will see in Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga. So we'll be moving more into this, the details of bandhas. Without bandhas, energy tends to leak out, tends to be blocked or dissipated due to our lifestyle, etc. Here, bandhas are the bridge between the disconnected areas of the energy circuit. This is the reason that this pumping and realignment of prana, the vital life energy, and kundalini shakti inherent, that is an inherent potential energy, brings tremendous healing and balancing to the physical, emotional, and neurological systems. So bandhas are described beautifully in the Shiva Samhita, right? So we'll directly get into the translation. The Akashic revelation of the above scriptural reference says, when having firmly closed the glottis by the proper yogic method and contemplating on the goddess Kundalini, he drinks, that means the moon fluid of immortality, he becomes a sage or poet within 6 months. So this is the power of bandha. When you intensely practice or when you intensely live, practice bandha, you will be able to reap the benefits of Kundalini being awakened in your body, and you can also have a possibility of becoming immortal. That is the power of this small but yet powerful component of Kailasa Nityananda Yoga. So understand there are 7 chakras in our body, right? So it's starting from the base of the spine. Mooladhara is the root chakra located in the perineum and associated with the adrenals. The next comes Swadhisthana, that is located at the level of pubic bone and associated with the reproductive organs. Then comes your Manipuraka, right? located at the navel and associated with the pancreas, associated with the thymus gland. Then comes your Vishuddhi, your throat center, and it's associated with your thyroids. Your third eye, the point between your eyebrows, and it's associated with your and it's associated with the pituitary glands. So each and it's associated with your major body energy centers and not physical organs. So they are thereby diseases can be cured and the function of their associated physical, psychological, and neurological systems can be optimized. So practicing bandhas can align your subtle energy groups that are your chakras that is there in your body. It can completely align your chakras, and through that you'll be able to see so many health benefits. And not just that, you'll be able to see you as a different being, a different person, able to manifest so many powers. Right, so we have a lot of bandhas, out of which all the 4 vinyasa kramas that I had stated will have these main bandhas that we'll be following when we do the yoga asanas. So first comes Mula Bandha. Mula Bandha is also known as a root lock that happens and works with the Muladhara chakra. So this is directly associated with your Muladhara chakra. It is a contraction of the pelvic floor muscles. Pranic energy, which normally flows out of the body, is prevented from leaking and instead raised to the higher chakra energy centers along with the spine. So locking this flow of energy at the base of the spine is referred to as a yoni bandha. Mula bandha is the most important bandha and should be maintained during breathing exercise. The benefit is that it brings perpetual youth, and not just that, many other benefits. Understand, most of our asanas have Mula Bandha incorporated in them. So if you are going to be doing Kailasa Nithyananda Yoga, you will be coming across Mula Bandha often. The next is Udhyana Bandha. Udhyana Bandha is known as the abdominal lock and therefore happens in and works with the Manipuraka chakra. It is performed by bringing the navel inwards towards the spine. Through this action, prana flows more easily into your Sushumna Nadi, the central energy channel along the spine where the Kundalini energy can move up the chakra centers. So all these bandhas that we are practicing is a contributing factor for our Kundalini Shakti to get awakened. So everything that you do, whatever bandhas that you do, actually helps you to awaken the Kundalini that is dormant in your body right now. So through practicing Nithyananda Yoga every day, coming across bandhas, coming across mudras, doing the asanas, chanting the pramanas, all of that understand is for your Kundalini Shakti to completely get awakened. This is the inner potential that is being unexplored by the people in today's world, and by exploring that, you will become a new dimension of you. You will start seeing that you are not your old self, but you are Bhagavan Paramashiva, and you will be able to manifest whatever you want in your life just through that Kundalini Shakti getting awakened in your body. The next is Karana. Performing the Karanas puts you into a state of high awareness of your body, engaging multiple body parts at the same time. So let us know what exactly Karana is, right? So Karana is the, Karana comes from the Nati Shastra. They are the Bharatanatyam postures that one does in between this yoga. So performing this gets you into high state of awareness, right? Because your body is currently engaging with so many body parts at the same time. So doing Karana just elevates your consciousness to a higher state. The half squatting position, commonly called the Aramandi, is common to most Karanas, which when performed aligns the body to the alignment of the cosmos. Several triangles can be drawn along the lines of the body. Therefore, this posture enables the microcosm to connect to the macrocosm. The 7 chakras are in complete alignment and aids the Kundalini to raise to the Sahasrara. Again, Karana is also a contributing factor for your Kundalini to get awakened, and just a mere half squatting position can directly align you to the cosmic geometry. Your microcosm, Pindanda, can be directly associated and aligned with the Brahmanda, the macrocosm. So just by doing these dance postures, Bharatanatyam dance postures, you are able to do so much, right? The significance to just doing a dance posture, we have no idea. We're just like, okay, it's just a dance posture, but no, there is so much more to it. These 108 Karanas were revealed by Paramashiva himself to his Gana Tandu, who then teaches it to Bharata, the author of the Natya Shastra. The Karanas incorporated into the Prathama Vinyasakrama are Urdhajanu, Ardhaswastika, Anchita, Guharnita, Katachina, Nikutaka, and Balita. So all of these that I stated are the types of Karanas that are there in the Prathama Vinyasakrama, Dvitiya Vinyasakrama, and Tritiya Vinyasakrama. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam delivers a major conscious breakthrough to the field of yoga through incorporating these dance movements. Through Paramashiva's in-depth instructions, energy and movements is taken to the next level, as seen in the example of Karana. This is the scriptural reference, and the Akashic revelation goes, on the left side, Pushpata in the hand, foot in Argata Chandra, and Sanata on the side results in Tala Pushpau Tha. The next slide. Next slide. Okay. So, I would just like to close a loop on the Karana component. So, just doing these Karanas, right? The source of these Karanas are Bhagavan Paramashiva himself, who taught this whole science to one of his disciples, who then taught to Bharata, and from there it came as a Natya Shastra, the source scriptures that all the Bharatanatyam itself came from, right? So these are the postures that we incorporate in Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga. So our Kundalini is awakened and we are able to match ourselves to the macrocosm. So Karana is the direct push for our body to get aligned to the macrocosm. So the next is a very, very important component. This is the 6th component out of the 12 components called visualization. So for the previous, the scriptural reference of visualization, the transition goes, when seen with the sight of pure knowledge, the universe appears filled with the essence of Brahman, the ultimate expansive consciousness. It is that sight, drishti, which uplifts and raises, not the looking at the tip of one's nose. In the science of yoga, context and intentions are everything. Why you bend your body matters. For whatever intention you move the body, that experience will be delivered to you. That is why in Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga, we maintain the space of yoga as a ritual, as a direct connection between Paramashiva and us. With every asana, it is important to maintain a strong visualization of that asana. So the context of visualization is when you are performing a certain asana, in Kailasa's Nityananda Yoga, you will be told to visualize a certain object, a certain god or a certain goddess. Understand, it is not just a mere visualization. The power of visualization is still there in us. What we visualize, we have the possibility for it to materialize outside as a reality. Bhagavan Paramashiva, Swamiji himself says that in one of his discourses that the power of visualization is when you visualize, you should be able to materialize that in your hand. For example, if you visualize a gold ring, you should be able to materialize that on your hand right away. That is the power of visualization. So when certain visualizations are given in this yoga sequence, understand you are able to embody that attribute of that god, goddesses, or you're able to bend your body like that object, or be that object, be that god, be that goddess while doing the asana. You are able to get into oneness when it comes to visualization. So many asanas names are a direct meditation upon different gods and goddesses. Some asanas take the form of specific animals or other living creatures. When we keep a clear visualization of each form we are embodying, the body can settle into the depth experience of each and every posture. So many times Paramashiva himself tells in the scriptures that oneness can be experienced through seeing him in everything, in each and every point we bring our gaze to. Through the sequence of 108 asanas, you will be guided to meditate upon specific visualizations for each asana. The next is japa. The 7th component is japa. Japa is the internal chanting of a mantra with the visualization of it rotating around the throat center in a circular way, allowing the yogi to feel the mild vibration of that mantra. When chanting, an energized Rudraksha beat exactly on the Vishuddhi chakra in the hollow of the throat, right? That is right here, right in the center. This is the place where the air is getting converted into sound. If you were energized Rudraksha there, constantly every word coming out will have the quote of that mantra. It becomes like the ajapa ajapa. You will see this Rudraksha and the mild vibration meeting, and the Kundalini in you will be awakened. Ajapa ajapa is one of the most powerful process and technique. It releases a certain kind of energy from our body and nectar from the throat. When you do a japa, it is not that every second you chant once, your heart chants, your lungs chant, your throat chants. The more and more deep it goes into your being, more and more parts of your being resonates with that. Mahavakya mantras refers to the ultimate mantras of all mantras used to invoke the divine presence. Throughout the Tritiya Vinyasakrama, we implement mantras, not just Tritiya Vinyasakrama, through all the 4 Vinyasakramas, we implement mantras, and Mahavakyas is a powerful japa. So directly, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam has given us Mahavakyas for each and every asana, right? Mahavakyas being the ultimate mantras of all mantras. Each and every asana in Kailasa Nithyananda Yoga, it has a Mahavakya incorporated. So directly you're able to experience the space of Paramashiva, the powers of Paramashiva, and everything that you say is aligned to your Vak Shakti and will manifest as a reality. So these mantras were gifted by the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam to direct connect us to Paramashiva himself. The following are the japas used throughout the 108 asanas. So the japas go like Soham, Shivoham, Paramashivoham, Sadashivoham, Mahasadashivoham. These are just a few japas that I am naming, but we have more in the Vinyasakramas, Kailasa Nithyananda Yoga. And these are the Mahavakyas that can directly align you to manifesting the space of Paramashiva and also align you to your Vak Shakti. So everything that you say come true. Everything that you want as reality can just come through in literally a second. The next component is the chanting. That is very, very important component of the whole Kailasa Nithyananda Yoga, which is also a unique component. So the next slide. Yes. So the translation of the previous scriptural references, by the grace of the deity being adorned, one will not face destruction even in the dream state if one chants mantra 12 times every day. So what is a mantra exactly? Mantra is a Sanskrit word that describes a sacred utterance, a sound, a syllable, a single word or a group of words. A mantra has spiritual powers with or without syntactic or literal meaning. A disciple needs to be initiated into a mantra by his guru, using the right procedure, mantra diksha, for the mantra to have its maximum potency for that individual. It is given by the guru and received with gratitude and respect by the disciple. Clear instructions are given about the number of repetitions, the right speed and duration of chanting in order to experience the truth of the mantra. So understand, we are all beautifully initiated by Swamiji. So we are already the initiated disciples of the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, and we are already ready and prepared for acquiring the best, highest states of Paramashiva. And we are also ready to manifest the best of the best through all these components because we are already initiated. Bhagwan, SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam has already initiated us beautifully through his discourses, through many of the initiations that he has personally had. All of that are direct initiation to our bodies, to our being. So we are able to manifest in different levels, not just yoga, through manifesting powers, to manifesting a reality, and through everything. Paramashiva is light, that is consciousness, while Paramashiva Shakti is sound, that is creation. By mantras, a yogi can unclutch from external things and be absorbed in the sounds of the mantra. The goal is to focus more and more on subtle sound. By abandoning the thoughts, a yogi learns to listen to the nada. Nada is a sound which is based on the premise that the entire cosmos consists of sound vibration. The practice of listening to nada leads to oneness with the ultimate, with Mahasadashiva. Actually, beautifully, Swamiji says in one of his discourses that if you want to really listen, then you go out in an open space and listen to the cosmos, listen to the air, listen to the environment, listen to the nature. When you are able to listen to that, then you're really you're a real listener. You are able to listen to that subtle sound of the cosmos, of the nature. You really are a listener. So the practice of listening leads to oneness with the ultimate. So this can be a small technique. All of you can try to get to that space, the space of oneness with Paramashiva himself. Therefore, mantras lead a yogi to live and radiate the state and space of Paramashiva. When the body bends in a sequence of asanas, posture, the aura, that is the energy surrounding any person, opens up. Therefore, only the highest vibrational sounds should be entering the space. That is why in Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, the Sanskrit pramanas, that is the scriptural references from the source text, the Sanskrit pramanas are basically either Apta Pramana or Shastra Pramana, are continuously chanted out loud throughout the Vinyasa Krama.
While Adi Shakti is sound, creation. By mantras, a yogi can unclutch from external things and be absorbed in the sounds of the mantra. The goal is to focus more and more on the subtle sound. By abandoning the thoughts, a yogi learns to listen to the nada. Nada is a sound which is based on the premise that the entire cosmos consists of sound vibration. The practice of listening to nada leads to oneness with the ultimate. When the body bends in a sequence of asanas, the aura opens up. Therefore, only the highest vibrational sounds should be entering that space. That is why in the Nithyananda Yoga sequences, the Sanskrit pramanas, scriptural references from source texts, are continuously chanted out loud throughout the Nithyananda Yoga sequences. Another component of Nithyananda Yoga is japa. Japa is the internal chanting of a mantra, with the visualization of it rotating around the throat in a circular way, allowing the yogi to feel the mild vibration of that mantra. When chanting, wear an energized Rudraksha bead exactly on the Vishuddhi chakra, in the hollow of the throat. This is the place where the air is getting converted into sound. If you wear energized Rudraksha there, constantly every word coming out will have the coat of that mantra. You will see this Rudraksha in the mild vibration meeting, and the Kundalini in you will be awakened. Japa is one of the most powerful processes and techniques. It releases a certain kind of energy from your body and nectar from the throat. Bija mantras, seed mantras.
Yes, sorry for the technical glitch. Now we'll be moving on to the component, chanting component of the 12 components. That's the 8th one. Yes, can we just, as the aura or energy body is vulnerable and opened up while bending the body in yoga, the sounds listen to matter deeply. Whatever verbalizations you hear during the time impacts your consciousness directly. So the Sanskrit words of Paramashiva are the most powerful verbalizations, and that is exactly what we use while we are doing the yoga. The next is weightlifting. Long before the rise of modern-day bodybuilding methods, in the Vedic civilization, weights were applied to the body as a method to raise Kundalini, expand one's consciousness, and connect to the divine Paramashiva. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam has yet again revealed another ancient science that breaks the mold and box that yoga has been placed into. If you want to truly expand your yoga, practice on the mat. Simply apply external weight to the body. Throughout his divine Leela, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam has stated on a number of occasions of the importance of building the physical body and how it leads to various different benefits. You will stop falling into depression, you will become centered into integrity, and you will go beyond tiredness. All of this can just happen by you lifting weights. This is why the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam says, weightlifting is a spiritual quality. I strongly support all the activities of you working on your body, like weightlifting, bodybuilding, and everything related to that. With this as a part of his vision for humanity, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam has done intense self-research and has had a number of Akashic revelations, that is the revelations from the cosmos directly, and has shared how this science has lived by the Natha Panthis, the Natha Sampradaya yogis. who used weights in combination with their yoga practices. From heavy stones to wooden logs, weightlifting is not something new to Vedic tradition. There are various benefits of adding weights, such as an increase in flexibility, improvement in strength, and the deep, heavy breathing or pranayama that is involved. The ancient method of weightlifting built into the yoga asana practice is a yogic science involving traditional weights called karanakate, commonly known today as karalakate, and is the reason why the Natha yogis are called Karna yogis. A karna kate is a form of wooden stick or heavy wood held in either one or both hands. Today, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam has revived and evolved yet another Vedic science, this time with the revelation of adding weights in the form of Karanakates in the various Kailasas Nithyananda Yogasana sequences, which is being gifted to humanity for the first time in the Tritiya Vinyasakrama, Dvitiya Vinyasakrama, and Prathama Vinyasakrama sequence. However, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam says there should be clear definitions of what weight should be used at the beginning and how that weight should be dispersed as you progress. He says the Natha yogis do not believe in having equal weights in both the hands. They say that on one side you should have a different weight. If you are male, your left side should have more weight. If you are a female, your right side should have more weight. So they have a clear proportion. The unique method of utilizing weights with a specific hand also leads to amazing health benefits. In another Akashic revelation, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam revealed that anyone with a heart problem could add half kg weight to the right hand and it will be completely healed. Thus, by adding weights with yoga, it will completely heal the whole body in various dimensions. Understand, it is not just mere weightlifting. It is completely, the science of weightlifting is different. Like in the modern day, you would see people just lifting 5 kgs, 10 kgs, can go up to 300 pounds. They can lift so many weights, but the context of why they're lifting, what they're lifting can actually impact the body directly. Here, the science from Hinduism is very specific on how much weight you have to lift, what side, if you're a male, which gender, how much weight you have to lift. To that detail, these revelations have been compiled by Swamiji, and he has put together this whole thing in Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. So you will be able to reap each and every benefit that I've stated before through just practicing Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. And with the initiation of Guru, you'll be easily reaping all these benefits and you'll be seeing a different dimension of yourself. The 10th component of the 12 components of Kailasa Nithyananda Yoga is the mandalas. Mandala is a representation of the cosmos. The human body is analogous to the cosmos itself. Like how a body, the microcosm, is a map to the macrocosm, that is the cosmos. Just like that, mandala is a representation of the cosmos too. So in SPH's own words, mandalas and yantras correspond to the internal structure of retinal and geniculate cells. Their construction is based on the tantric seers' intuitive knowledge of the mind's nature, its relationship with subtle channels of energy, that is the nadis in the body, and the human need for a symbolic life. Yantra is a diagram into which a deity can be invited by using the corresponding mantra. They can be used towards achieving oneness or self-realization. The symbolism of yantra represents a universal pattern and the mantra, the cosmic sound. So just by having a mandala or a yantra in front of us, just by the proper mantra chanted, the proper octave, the proper intonation, that can directly invoke your deity in front of you, and that deity can bestow upon you the experience of oneness. The combination of the two helps the sadhak, that is a yogi, performing the yoga to transcend the normal frame of reference and achieve a higher state of awareness in which the individual being and the universal being become one and the same. This is a Shastra Pramana from the Deva Rahasya revealed by Bhairava. The translation goes, now I shall reveal the yantra of Bhavani, who is adorned with the Moola mantra and that which bestows all siddhis. The Sri Chakra of Bhavani that resonates with the state of bliss has a Nindu Trikona, has a hexagon, circle, Nagarakala, Daladhyam. It has 3 circles, it has 3 houses called Bhu. So this is one of the most powerful mandalas of all mandalas. The Sri Yantra mandala represents the cosmic form, the diagram of evolution and development of the whole cosmos, the form of a human organism, the diagram of the inner circuits of the body, and the form of goddess Tripura Sundari, because the goddess is energy which pervades the entire phenomenal world. So the mandala Sri Chakra has all these three incorporated, and this is commonly used in our yoga. In the Sri Chakra, the 5 downward pointing triangles or Shakti triangles are manifested as 5 Tan mantras: sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. 5 Mahabhutas: Akasha, air, fire, water, and earth. 5 sense organs, that is ear, skin, eyes, tongue, and nose, and 5 organs of action: hands, feet, mouth, genitals, and anus. In the human body, these 5 elements are skin, nerves, flesh, fat, and bones. So these are the representations of those 5 downward pointing triangles in the Sri Chakra Mandala. The 4 upward pointing triangles, which are called Shiva triangles, represents the male energy and exist as Chitta, that is being, Buddhi, intellect, Ahankar, ego, and Manas, mind. The Bindu, circle, in the center represents the Divine Mother. The Bindu in the Sahasrara Chakra represents the individual consciousness, which is the self, Jiva. In the Tritiya Vinyasakrama, we will be practicing yoga on the mat along with Sri Yantras, energized by the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam. With the presence of this mandala, the pure consciousness of Paramashiva and Paramashiva Shakti will be infused into the biomemory. The next component, the 11th component, is Abharana. In the Vedagamic lifestyle, Abharana or jewelry is not only worn for decorative purposes but has a spiritual significance. Each metal and jewel holds a certain energy and provides specific benefits to the body when worn. As a result, people adorn themselves fully from head to toe. The beauty about Hinduism is that every step we take in our lives has a major reason why we do what we do. It's not just merely wearing a jewelry, not just wearing the dress you like, not just wearing kumkum when you feel like it. No, every single thing that we do in Hinduism, in living a Hindu life, has a major reason on why we do what we do, and it inevitably leads us to understand that we are divine. So each and every step, Hinduism lifestyle facilitates us to understand that we are divine each and every second of our life. Right, always empowering us with that powerful cognition. From the dress we wear to the jewelries we wear, it all holds meaning. It's not just empty presentations happening in front of you, but has meaningful happenings that are meaningful reasons on why we're doing what we're doing. So Rudraksha jewelry is a traditional abharana worn by Paramashiva himself, and while performing the 4 Vinyasakramas, as a manifestation of the teardrop from Paramashiva's third eye, the Rudraksha being the manifestation of the teardrop from Paramashiva's third eye, the Rudraksha energy bead is able to hold and radiate energy unlike any other stone. The Sundara Vadam and the Kantamala are the chosen abharana by the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam for the Vinyasakramas sequence. So Paramashiva specifically mentions how Shiva Bhakta should adorn themselves. So that is a very interesting segment of Nithyananda Kailasa Nithyananda Yoga. The way you present yourself, the way you dress up also matters a lot when it comes to yoga. So you will be wearing Sundaravaram, that is hooped earrings with Rudraksha beads, and you'll be wearing a Kantamala. This is given to you when you take the Vishesh Diksha and the Siva Diksha from Swamiji, and the Vibhuti, the sacred ash, is applied on your forehead and your body. If you're a male, there are 16 points, while if you're a female, there are like 2 points. You have to apply sacred ash on. This is the scriptural reference for the abharana, and the revelation goes: a Shiva Bhakta should wear Rudraksha around his crown, earring, chain round the ear, armlet at all times, and specifically round the stomach, that is Kukshi Bandha, while he is sleeping, drinking, etc. The Sundaravadam are the traditional Rudraksha earrings which provide balance to the body while performing the Vinyasakramas. They also increase the space of listening in the yogi, allowing them to tune their body to the cosmic geometry during the practice. Wearing the Rudraksha necklace on the Vishuddhi Chakra as a Kantamala given by the Guru radiates the energy of the mantra initiated by the Guru, acting as a mechanized japa for the yogi. Performing the Prathama Vinyasakrama, Dvitiya Vinyasakrama, and Tritiya Vinyasakrama sequence while wearing the Kantamala and Sundaravadam, Sundaravadam takes the ritual of yoga to the next level, infusing the yogi with master's energy and oneness space at all times. Now we are on to our last and final component, that is the Aushadha. Aushadha is a sacred alchemy science from the ancient Siddha tradition. It combines sacred herbs, prana, the cosmic force energy, and most importantly, the Shakti Pada, the entanglement energy of Paramashiva, the ultimate, which can be ingested or physically applied to enter into the body. Through this ancient science, the state, space, and powers of Paramashiva can be experienced, giving access to the 25 states of consciousness. Just by applying Aushadha or taking the Aushadha internally can actually make you achieve the 25 states of consciousness, Bhagavan Paramashiva has clearly stated. Like how a perfect mirror reflects the sun perfectly, so does a perfect body reflects consciousness. The science of Aushadha, that is sacred herbs prepared as per Agamas, is a way to make the body like a pure mirror. Because certain herbs are capable of holding thought currents and transmitting them into you, they can be infused with the oneness experience during the Aushadha making process and directly consumed. Aushadha heals the physiological, and psychological components of your being by tempering and transmitting the whole system, allowing you to be a pure reflection of Paramashiva, the pure superconsciousness. As a direct science from the Agamas, it is a direct teaching of Paramashiva revived by the Avatar to raise humanity to the next level of consciousness. Aushadha is a key component of authentic yoga to fully engage all the senses and stimulate the body through the alchemical processes. The Aushadhas selected for this process are turmeric, kumkum, that is a processed turmeric, Jnananjan, that is the divine eyeliner, and sandalwood. Turmeric is one of the most powerful ways to detoxify the body and absorb higher levels of prana throughout your yoga practice. It has the property of entering the system through the skin and directly absorbing neurotoxins built up in the body. Every micromilligram of turmeric that gets into your system will clean 10 times that of fluoride toxin that is there in your body. Turmeric is applied to the temples to completely detoxify the entire system and help you manifest powers of Paramashiva. So before you start the Nithyananda Yoga, always make sure to take some turmeric and apply it right on your temples. And sandalwood is used to invoke divine energies. It is one of the most powerful medicines in Ayurveda for detoxing, cooling the body, healing wounds, and healthy skin, and for achieving healthy skin. It is famous for its anti-aging qualities, but also its spiritual properties like clearing the mind and reducing stress. The SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam uses sandalwood as one of the components in all his Aushadha processes. Paramashiva reveals Jnana Anjan Shri Guru Gita to Devi. Ajnana Timira Andasya Jnana Anjalashalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In this, the translation goes, one who removes the blinding darkness of the eyes caused by the absence of true liberating knowledge by applying Jnana Anjan, the sacred black eyeliner, anointing the three eyes, which is of the essence and biomemory of pure knowledge, and awakens the all-pervasive infinite eyes, Chakshu, the intra-organ through which all that is seen. Onto that, Shri Guru I surrender. His Divine Holiness, the SPH Nithyananda Paramashivam, reveals the benefits of turmeric and kumkum. The Akashic revelation goes, rubbing the turmeric and applying kumkum, that detoxifies the intra-organ called third eye, that is there between your brow center. Putting your attention on the third eye activates something called Agnya, means the energy to activate the intra-organ called third eye happens by putting your attention on it. Okay, so this ends our full session on the 12 components that is incorporated in our Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. So now that all of you know in depth and in detail why each of these components are there in Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, you will be practicing all of these components with intensity and with awareness on why you're doing what you're doing. With this knowledge, if you start off your Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, you will be able to manifest all the health benefits. You will be able to manifest space of Paramashiva, and you'll be able to manifest all the powers Paramashiva possesses, right? So with this knowledge that is imparted through this beautiful science that Swamiji has compiled through Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, when you commence your yoga with this, you will be able to see a new dimension of yourself. You'll be able to manifest the best body you want, the best self through this yoga. So to start Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, I'm just going to be reading out what is normally needed for the class. A yoga mat, a normal yoga mat or a yoga mat made of cork, a hand towel or wristband if you require, a bottle of water can be kept in the side, and always have an open mind. Do not judge, do not have your own opinions. Drop all of that, surrender all of that at the feet of Swamiji. Drop all your perceptions, your judgments, your limited cognitions, and then start your Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga. Then you'll be able to see the real experience. You'll be able to experience the reality of what yoga truly is, that is being told by Paramashiva himself. Next. Yes, so before you do the yoga, these are the tips that you have to keep in mind. So do not eat for at least 2 or 3 hours before performing the yoga. Normally, Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga is performed at 4 a.m. in the morning during the Brahma Muhurta time. The significance on why we perform yoga during the Brahma Muhurta time is that Swamiji beautifully explains in his discourse that we are like a peeled banana in the morning, like how a needle can go right across a peeled banana without any hesitance or resistance. Just like that, our body is during Brahma Muhurta time. So when we practice yoga, doing the asana, doing the pranayama, chanting the mantras, doing the japa, visualizing certain gods, goddesses, all of that directly gets down into your bio memory and your muscle memory. So practicing yoga early in the morning is always suggested. And if you do want to practice yoga not in the morning and some other day, make sure you don't eat at least for 2 to 3 hours before, and drink a lot of water. Drink a couple of glasses of water 1 hour before performing yoga to ensure your body is hydrated, and ensure to drink plenty of water after performing yoga, and wear clothes that allow your body to move freely. And do not shower immediately after performing yoga. Allow the body temperature to settle to normal. Wait for at least 15 minutes before consuming any food after performing yoga. How to of the asanas, the practice. Before practicing the asanas, what you can do. Once you are familiar with the series of asanas, practice in Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga, before performing each asana, develop a habit of taking a moment to visualize yourself in the asana. So it's always better if you come across any complicated asana, it's always better if you visualize yourself doing that asana already. So when you take a moment to mentally perform the asana, you are awakening the body muscles intelligence, right? When the body is prepared mentally, when the visualization is practiced, the body will flow harmoniously into the posture. Then entire asana practice will become a lot easier and much more enjoyable. While practicing these asanas, while performing the yoga asanas as much as possible, try to consciously do the following. Smile softly to yourself. Avoid strain and tension to show on your face. It can change your entire performance and experience of the posture. Keep the eyes soft, wide, and always ready. For all balancing postures, always concentrate the gaze on one point in front of you or the floor. When the eyes are still, the mind will be still. Therefore, the entire body will be still. This is really true. So when you come across any asanas that require your utmost focus and concentration for you to balance in that asana, always have one single drishti point, right? Concentrate your gaze on that one single point. Then you'll automatically see how your body completely aligns and just balances by itself. Once you are in a posture, do not shift or fidget. If you are uncomfortable, come out of the posture and repeat it with more awareness. Remember while performing the postures that you are an embodiment of relaxed, blissful energy. With each moment, you are moving with bliss. Each time you are inhaling bliss energy and exhaling bliss energy. So with this, we'll be entering into the ritual of Nithyananda Yoga. So now that we all know, we all have the proper and detailed knowledge on these 12 components that are incorporated in our yoga, now we'll be able to practice them with more awareness, with more understanding, and with more knowledge of what is going to happen when we do it, right? Now that this knowledge is imparted to all of you, start off your yoga with this. And when you do this, when you come into yoga with this knowledge, you will be able to see that it will be unlike any other experience you've gotten. So with this, we will be ending our first session, and we'll be ending our session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hi Hari Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Bhagavat Shri Nithyananda Paramashiva Paduka Pranamastu. Om Nithyanandam. And with this, stay tuned for the next session that are lined up for you to experience on today's International Yoga Day Festival. Thank you, Nithyanandam.
Syllables mantras use to invoke certain deities. Bija mantras correlate to the specific chakras as we engage them, amplifying their power. Another component of Nithyananda Yoga is mandalas. Mandala is a representation of the cosmos. The human body is the embodiment to the cosmos itself. Mandalas, representing the cosmos, and yantras, representing a particular deity, correspond to the internal structure of retinal and geniculate cells. Their construction is based on the tantric seer's intuitive knowledge of the mind's nature, its relationship with subtle channels of energy, nadis, in the body, and the human need for a symbolic life. The symbolism of yantra represents a universal pattern and the mantra, the cosmic sound. The combination of the two helps the sadhak, yogi performing the yoga, to transcend the normal frame of reference and achieve a higher state of awareness, in which the individual being and the universal being are one. Another component of Nithyananda Yoga is Aushadha. Aushadha is an esoteric science from the Siddha tradition which is used to achieve the state, space, and powers of Mahasadashiva and gain access to the 25 states of consciousness. Like how a perfect mirror reflects the sun perfectly, so does a perfect body reflect consciousness. The science of Aushadha, sacred herbs prepared as per Agama, is a way to make the body like a pure mirror. Aushadha is a key component of authentic yoga to fully engage all the senses and stimulate the body through all chemical processes. Yet another unique component of Nithyananda Yoga is Kalana. The Natya Shastra describes the combined movement of the hands and feet as a karana in sacred dance. It involves the synchronized movements of the feet, hips, hands, and even the fingers. The 108 karanas can be seen frozen in various temple sculptures and were used in the sacred dance. For the very first time, His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda reveals the effect of karanas on the body and the mind and the breathing patterns that they are triggering. Performing the karanas puts you into a state of high awareness of your body, engaging multiple body parts at the same time. His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda delivers a major conscious breakthrough to the field of yoga through incorporating these dance movements. Another component of Nithyananda Yoga is weightlifting. Long before the rise of modern-day bodybuilding methods, weights were applied to the body as a method to raise kundalini, expand one's consciousness, and connect to the divine, Paramashiva. This is why His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda says weightlifting is a spiritual quality. He has done intense self-research and has had a number of Akashic revelations from the cosmic archives, and has shared how this science was lived by the Nata Sampradaya yogis, who used weights in combination with their yoga practices. From heavy stones to wooden logs, weightlifting is not something new to the Vedic tradition. Adding weights with yoga, it will completely heal the whole body in various dimensions. Human beings live their lives in a fragmented way. That is why so many obstacles are faced throughout their life. As they imbibe the Nithyananda Yoga in their lives, they reintegrate the various fragments of their being and re-establish themselves into a complete being. That is because Nithyananda Yoga awakens the various strands of DNA in your body. The human body contains 12 strands of DNA, which allows us to access 12 dimensions of conscious awareness. The 12th dimension being the Paramashiva, the ultimate Shiva, which can't be described. When you experience the 12th dimension, you are an incarnation. As these strands of DNA are awakened, you will gain more depth in life and more length of life. With the interdimensional 12-strand DNA activation, which mainly happens through initiation, you have access to 10 times the information available from your DNA. This means that you can just directly download anything from the cosmic archives.
Proper practice of yoga as per Sadashiva's instruction means imbibing his DNA into you, literally having cosmic union with him.
Through Nithyananda Yoga, you'll experience the ultimate union with the divine, Paramashiva. Paramashivoham is a boon to humanity from His Divine Holiness as an opportunity to imbibe Parama Yoga and experience the ultimate in each dimension of your life.
You are going to have the Parama Yoga revealed by Paramashiva, ultimate Shiva. It is going to be the expression of the ultimate yoga. Understand, the ultimate secrets of union with the cosmos is yoga. All the ultimate truths will be revealed to you in this Paramashivoham, gifted to you in this Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Yoga has become an $80 billion industry, incorporating everything you could think of from animals to food. And everyone is looking to get their share, be it through expensive apparel or sponsored Instagram posts. This might look fashionable and harmless, but what you don't understand is the detrimental effects it has on your consciousness. When you're practicing authentic yoga, you're working with an independent intelligence, a science to awaken the inner potential energy within you. When you add your own twist to yoga, it changes this internal process and brings a different effect on your physiology, psychology, and neurology. Some people practice yoga to build a strong physique, for the healing of an ailment, or for relieving stress and anxiety. However, throughout the years, the original source of yoga has been lost, and the entire science has been diluted. Many of the traditional yogic asanas and their context have completely disappeared from the mainstream practice. Yoga is not just about asanas, but aligning the body to the cosmic geometry and experiencing different states and dimensions. To miss this context is missing the whole purpose of yoga. Adiyogi, Sadashiva, is the creator of yoga. He delivered the original yogic scriptures through the Vedas and Agamas as a way to experience the ultimate through our bodies. After the revelation of yoga by Sadashiva himself, great yogis and sadhus practiced yoga to acquire the best physique and physiology to manifest the state and powers of Sadashiva. This is authentic yoga. Agoris, sadhus, sannyasis have always exemplified the yogic powers and demonstrated incredible feats. As recently as a few centuries back, powerful yogis roamed the earth shamelessly showcasing these powers. However, an unknown enemy violently attacked the very foundation of Hinduism. Fueled by the desire for power and control, strategic acts of pillaging, mass starvation, and cultural genocide cheated the modern Hindu into believing their own history as mythology. Today, we live in a society where child obesity has become accepted, cancer is almost anticipated, and depression and suicide is at an all-time high. This is a distant sight from the peak of human potential described in the Vedas and Agamas. Paramashivoham Nithyananda, the cosmos itself, landed as a lightning bolt and revived the authentic yoga from the source. He is taking humans and making them superhumans with yogic bodies meant for manifesting powers. For the first time, Swamiji is reintroducing the Shastra Pramanas and reviving the purest form of yoga. He has already collected, preserved, translated, and delivered to the world many of the original yogic scriptures which were virtually inaccessible. He is the only being teaching yoga based on authentic Hindu Shastras, and it is the only yoga for manifesting Shaktis, the amazing powers of Sadashiva. As a lifelong yogi and avatar, Swamiji is able to give an experiential understanding to his disciples by transmitting the state and space of a yogi. With 2 world records in Shivastambha Yoga and Kundalini Raju Yoga, he is taking the world of yoga by storm. He has published 108 plus Nitya Kriyas, 900 plus yogic asanas, 300 plus yogic techniques, 600 meditation techniques, and much more. He has tens of thousands of initiated yogis worldwide. He continues to give breakthroughs to all his disciples by initiating them into new yogic powers. His vision is to make Nithyananda Yoga the certifying authority on yoga as per the Vedic scriptures, to bring authenticity back to the practice. He will have thousands of Nithyananda Yoga acharyas ordained to share this authentic science with the world. And to verify everything with Shastra Pramana and Apta Pramana, he intends to build the world's largest library of yogic techniques authenticated by the yogic scriptures. He is establishing yoga as a powerful science to explore your possibilities, manifest Shaktis, and explore the 25 states of consciousness and 11 dimensions of the universe. Presenting Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022, the most authentic yoga celebration on International Yoga Day. Join us online for this full-day yoga festival, directly from the original source scriptures, June 21st from 8 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Experience more than 12 hours of free yoga sessions on yoga, meditation, pranayama, and revelations from scriptures dated thousands of years before Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. Join various enlightened talks, discussions, and seminars from Third Eye Awakened yogis, all under the guidance of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, the born yogi and avatar, whose mission is to revive and re-gift to the world the various authentic yoga sciences. Experience the profound Kriya techniques that completely detoxify the body, lift you out of depression, and awaken your Kundalini. Special seminars on how to begin an authentic yoga class, which way your body should face, what should be applied to your body, and the mantras to chant before you begin. Participate in yet another opportunity for a world record, and the grand finale of the day's events, join the inaugural Dvitya Vinyasa Krama yoga class, the 308 yoga asana sequence of traditional postures, and be one of the first to download the Nithyananda Yoga Paddhati, which includes the 108, 308, and 508 asana sequences, how to perform them, along with each of their 12 components. Enjoy this full-day yoga event by learning directly from the scriptures. Hosted from the auspicious Nityanandeshwara Paramashiva Devalayam at Adi Kailasa Nityananda Sarvanyapitam. An entirely free event enjoyed from the comfort of your own home. Register now at the link below and save the day's schedule, June 21st, 2022, for the most authentic yoga event of the year, Kailasa's Nithyananda Yoga Festival 2022.
That's right, Paramahamsa Nithyananda.
Yoga's become an $80 billion industry, incorporating everything you could think of from animals to food, and everyone is looking to get their share, be it through expensive apparel or sponsored Instagram posts. This might look fashionable and harmless, but what you don't understand is the detrimental effects it has on your consciousness. When you're practicing authentic yoga, you're working with an independent intelligence, a science to awaken the inner potential energy within you. When you add your own twist to yoga, it changes this internal process and brings a different effect on your physiology, psychology, and neurology. Some people practice yoga to build a strong physique, for the healing of an ailment, or for relieving stress and anxiety. However, throughout the years, the original source of yoga has been lost, and the entire science has been diluted. Many of the traditional yogic asanas and their context have completely disappeared from the mainstream practice. In today's world, even though the technology has improved tremendously, one of the biggest problems, if not the biggest problem that humanity is facing, is feeling disconnected from themselves, from one another, and from nature and life around them. People desperately attempt to experience connection through various ways: physical union or sex, dependence to drugs and foods, or through the internet. But unfortunately, none of these paths lead to the true connection that we're seeking. Connection is actually not what is being sought. It is actually union that humanity is seeking in so many wrong directions. Union with the ultimate is the true solution. Yoga is the only way to experience union with the ultimate. It is the path to anti-sex, to go beyond sex and experience union with all the other dimensions of ourselves and the universe.
His Divine Holiness, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, is a born yogi. He's a living incarnation of Paramashiva as per Hinduism. He has taken birth to bring back the context and authenticate the lifestyle of Sanatana Hindu Dharma. A large component of this lifestyle is yoga. Through Nithyananda Yoga, he's bringing back the authentic yoga, gifting to humanity the very science that has been lost, allowing individuals to experience the powers, state, and space of the divine, Paramashiva.
Nithyananda Yoga is based off of Shashtanga Yoga, not Ashtanga Yoga. Unlike the Ashtanga Yoga developed by Patanjali, Sadashiva's Shashtanga Yoga requires the presence and initiation of the Guru. Only then the Shashtanga Yoga starts. For the past several hundred years, the world has had to make do with lower levels of yogic practices. It is for this reason that despite millions of people practicing yogic techniques for years, we have yet to come across the beings who effortlessly radiate the exalted yogic state and powers of Paramashiva. After all, Paramashiva's Shashtanga Yoga requires the presence of a living avatar to initiate disciples into his lofty state and space. Hence, it wasn't until His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda revealed Nithyananda Yoga that the original form of yoga was revived. It is not about building or achieving a yogic state after years of practice. Instead, it begins from the state of Paramashiva, based on initiation from the avatar, to manifest the state, space, and powers of Paramashiva. Accordingly, His Divine Holiness Paramahamsa Nithyananda infuses so much of Paramashiva's energy in us through processes, techniques, and initiations that extraordinary possibilities naturally express through us. When His Divine Holiness transmits the highest conscious experience to us, we enjoy the experience and expression of Paramashiva, called Shaktis, as a lifestyle.
The energy of the divine gushes through the master into your system through as a powerful cognition. Understand? Cessation of the mind. Chitta vritti nirodha can never happen from there to here. It can happen only from here to there.
This authentic yoga has a backbone of 4 levels of yoga with 12 inbuilt components. The Pratama Vinyasa Krama, the Dvitya Vinyasa Krama, Tritya Vinyasa Krama, and Chaturtha Vinyasa Krama are the 4 main sequences of Nithyananda Yoga. But Nithyananda Yoga doesn't stop there. His Divine Holiness is also revealing various other ancient dimensions of yoga that exist on the pole, rope, ground, water, air, and more. The revival of these authentic forms of yoga allows you to experience the anti-sex with Paramashiva, which is described in the sacred scriptures of Shashtanga Yoga. It literally guides one to a super conscious breakthrough. Then, Only the true experience of yoga happens through the manifestation of the powers of Paramashiva. This is how authentic yoga is identified.
Understand, yoga is nothing but union with cosmos. It is so unfortunate. The word union is very poorly mapped and understood just for physical sex. Please understand. Sex is poor man's version of union. When you don't know anything, you just do that. That's it. Union is rich man's version of sex. It is much beyond body. Biggest problem in the modern day is amputated yoga. Understand, this is the word I use. Amputated yoga. The angas of yoga is cut and packaged. Amputated yoga is the most danger to the modern day. We need to give the original yoga as it is complete to the world. Yoga is the science which makes the divine to connect with you. Listen, not you to divine. No. I'll tell you, if you think man to divine, you will be man forever. In spirituality, where you start, you will remain there forever. So start in right place. Never man to divine. It is always divine to man. Precisely in my Atma Pramana, I'll tell you yoga. What is yoga? Strong cognitions exploding into your system and changing your whole brain's alchemy, putting you in the space beyond any description, and release such intense ecstasy into your system is yoga from my experience. The postures, stretching your body, everything is to align your system to retain that alchemy experience. What I am teaching as Nithyananda Yoga is not one more brand yoga, it is the yoga.
Nithyananda Yoga is the revival of the authentic yoga as per the scriptures, where the 12 components of each asana are going to be experienced. You're going to have the Parama Yoga revealed by Paramashiva, ultimate Shiva, ultimate truth. Understand, the ultimate secrets of union with the cosmos is yoga. By practicing Nithyananda Yoga with these components, strong roots are built within the body and ecstatic bliss is experienced.
Nithyanandam, we welcome you back to the International Yoga Day Festival session number 2. So the session number 2 is going to be about Shuddhi Kriya and what exactly is Shuddhi Kriya and more about Shuddhi Kriya. So before we begin the session, we'll be seeing 2 testimonials, and right after that, we'll be starting the session.
என் பேர் பிரேமாவதி. அவர் பர்மாவிலேருந்து வந்தார். வந்து இங்கே வேலூரில் கல்யாணம் ஆச்சு. பேங்க்கில் இருந்தார். அப்புறம் அங்கங்கே மாற்றிட்டே வந்தோம். திருவண்ணாமலை வந்து சேர்ந்தோம் நாங்கள். தம்பி வருவார், சாமி வருவார் வீட்டுக்கு டெய்லி. 2 மணி நேரம் உட்காந்துட்டு இருப்பார். உட்காந்துட்டு எழுதி இவர் கூட போயிடுவார். கோவிலில் போய் யோகா எல்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுத்துக்குன்னு அவர் பாட்டுக்கு அவர் போயிடுவார். இவர் பாட்டுக்கு இவர் வந்துடுவார். கோவிலில் போய் செய்வார். அப்புறம் அவங்க டெய்லி பண்ணிகிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. டெய்லி வருவார் சாமி. ஒன்று கூட சாப்பிட மாட்டார், கொடுத்தா கூட சாப்பிட மாட்டார்.
நமஸ்காரம். நான் திரு ரகுபதி யோகிராஜ் பி. ரகுபதி அவர்களின் மகனாகிய பூபதி பேசுகிறேன். எனது தாயார் இப்பொழுது உரையாற்றினார். நமது நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகள் அவர்களை பற்றி நிறைய இருக்கிறது சொல்வதற்கு. நான் சிறு வயதில் இருந்த பொழுது என் தந்தையாருடன் இருந்த நிகழ்வுகள் எல்லாம் எனக்கு இப்பொழுது ஞாபகத்தில் இருக்கிறது. அதை உங்களுடன் பகிர்ந்து கொள்கிறேன். என் தந்தையார் இருக்கும் பொழுது அவர் கிருத்திகா மண்டபம்னு 1000 கால் மண்டபத்தில் பக்கத்தில் உள்ள கிருத்திகா மண்டபம்னு கோவில் இருக்குது. அந்த மண்டபத்தில் போயிட்டு யோகா நடத்துவார். யோகா சொல்லி கொடுக்கும்போது நம்ம நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகள் அப்பொழுது சிறு வயது சிறுவன். அவர் வீட்டுக்கு வருவார். அம்மாவிடம் கேட்பார், குருஜி இருக்கிறாரா அப்படின்ட்டு. அம்மா என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, அப்பா தூங்கிட்டு இருக்காருப்பா அப்படின்வார். அவர் நேராக போவார். அப்பா பக்கத்தில் போய் தலைமாட்டில் உட்காந்துட்டு எப்போ முழிக்கிறாரோ அது வரைக்கும் அவர் பாட்டுக்கு உட்காந்துட்டு இருப்பார். அப்புறம் அப்பா கண்ணு விழித்த உடனே 2 பேரும் எழுந்திரிச்சு அப்பா ஸ்நானம் செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு அவரை கூட்டிக்கிட்டு யோகா கிளாஸ்க்கு போவாங்க. அப்பா சொல்லுவார், டேய் இதோ வந்திருக்கிற தம்பி, இந்த தம்பியை பாரு, இந்த தம்பி பின்னால எவ்வளோ பெரிய மகானாக போகிறாரு, உலகம் அறியற அளவுக்கு போவாரா, உலகத்தையே காக்கக்கூடியவராகவும் செய்வார், அவருக்கு அவ்வளோ ஞானம் இருக்குடா அப்படின்ட்டு அவர் அப்போ சொன்னார். இப்போ உனக்கு தெரியாது, நீ பின்னாடி நான் இறந்த பிறகு, என்னுடைய மறைவுக்கு பிறகுதான் உனக்கு எல்லாமே தெரியும் அப்படின்னு அப்பா சொல்லுவார். அப்பொழுது எனக்கு அவ்வளவாக தெளிவு இல்லை. இப்பொழுது நான் அதை உணர்கிறேன். ஒரு தோல் இருக்கும், அந்த மான் தோல். அந்த மான் தோலில் நடுராத்திரியில் அப்பா தியானம் பண்ணுவார். கண்ணை மூடிட்டு தியானம் பண்ணுவார். சில நேரத்தில் அந்த மானுத்தோலுக்கு மேலேயே கொஞ்சம் எழும்பி உட்காந்து தியானம் பண்ணுவார் அப்பா. அப்படி பண்ணும்போது நான் பார்த்துருக்குறேன். அந்த கண் கூட பார்த்ததில் ஒரே ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி. ஒரு நாள் இரவு நான் படுத்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறேன். பக்கத்து அறை, அந்த அறையில் அப்பா தியானம் பண்ணின்னு இருக்கிறார். திடீர்னு கண் விழிப்பு வந்தது. கண் விழிப்பு வந்தால் சின்ன லேம்ப்பு எங்கள் வீட்டில், அதாவது நைட் லேம்ப். அந்த நைட் லேம்ப்பு சின்னதை வச்சுருப்போம். அந்த லேம்ப் ஒளி தான் இருக்குது, வேறு எந்த ஒளியும் இல்லை. அந்த ஒளி எல்லாம் ஹால் ஃபுல்லாக பரவி இருக்கும். அப்போது அப்பாவை நான் பார்க்குறேன். அப்பா தரையிலேருந்து ஒரு அரை அடி ஸ்கேல் இருக்கும் இல்லைங்களா, அந்த அளவுக்கு உயரத்தில் நின்றுக்கிட்டு உட்காந்துட்டு தியானம் பண்ணுறார். நான் ரொம்ப பயந்துட்டேன். ஐயோ அப்பாவா இப்படி பண்ணுறாரு, ஐயோ நம்ம எப்படின்னு ஒரு மாதிரி ஷிவரிங் ஆகிடுது. சரின்னு பயத்துலேயே அம்மா கிட்ட போய் ஒதுங்கிட்டு கம்முன்னு படுத்துட்டேன். நான் திருப்பத்தூரில் ஒரு ஸ்கூலில் ஒர்க் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தேன். அப்போ என் ஃப்ரெண்டு விடுதி, பெங்களூரில் இருக்கிறவங்க விடுதி, அந்த விடுதி ஆசிரமத்தில் அவர் இருந்திருக்கார். அவர் இருக்கும்போது என் ஃப்ரெண்டு போயிருக்கிறார். அந்த விடுதி ஆசிரமத்தில் என் தந்தையுடைய ஃபோட்டோ, நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகள் இவங்களெல்லாம் பார்த்துட்டு என்கிட்ட பேசிகிட்டு இருந்தார். எனக்கெல்லாம் தெரியும், நித்யானந்த சுவாமிகள் தானே, எல்லாம் நல்லா தெரியும் எனக்கு. என்ன எப்படி தெரியும்னு, இல்லை அவர் எங்கள் அப்பா கிட்ட என் தந்தையாரிடம் இந்த அப்பா கிட்ட வீட்டுக்கு யோகாலாம் கற்றுக்கிட்டு போனவர் தான், இப்போ பெரிய மகானாக இருக்கிறாரு அப்படின்னோடனே, நீ இவ்வளோ அசால்ட்டாக பேசுகிற? அவர் சொல்கிறார், என் ஃப்ரெண்டுக்கு அப்போ தான் உரைக்குது எனக்கு மனசுக்கு, அது வரைக்கும் எனக்கு உரைக்கலை. என்ன இவ்வளோ கேர்லெஸ்ஸாக பேசுகிற? அவர் எவ்வளோ பெரிய மகானாகி வந்திருக்கிறாரு, அந்த மகானை போய் நீ இவ்வளோ கேர்லெஸ்ஸாக பேசுகிற? உங்கள் அப்பா ஃபோட்டோவை பார்த்துட்டு ரொம்ப ஸ்டன் ஆகிட்டு, ஐயோ 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 ஐயோ, காண கிடைக்காத அரிய காட்சியாக இருக்குதே, அந்த தேவ புருஷனாக இருக்கிறாருன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நான் எவ்வளோ பக்தியாக அவர்கிட்ட யோகா கற்றுக்கணும், தியானம் எல்லாம் கற்றுக்கிட்டு வந்திருக்கேன் அந்த மடத்தில் போய், நீ இவ்வளோ அசால்ட்டாக பேசுகிறியே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சொன்னார். அப்போ தான் எனக்கு மனசில் உரைக்க ஆரம்பிச்சது திருப்பத்தூரில். அடடா, நாம் இது நாள் வரைக்கும் யாரோ நம்ம அப்பாவையும், நம்ம அப்பா கிட்ட படித்த சிஷ்யர் சுவாமிகள் அவரை சொல்லணும், அவரெல்லாம் யாரோ நம்ம சொல்லணும், ஆனால் நான் உணராமல் விட்டுட்டனே ஐயோ எவ்வளோ பெரிய தப்பு பண்ணிட்டனே, என் வாழ்க்கையில் நான் பெரிய தவறு செய்துட்டேன், உண்மையிலே அது பெரிய இழப்பு தான் எனக்கு அப்படின்னு. ஆனால் மனசுக்குள்ளே நான் அவரை தியானம் பண்ணிக்குவேன். சுவாமி, நீங்கள் சிறு குழந்தையாக இருக்கும்போது நம்ம வீட்டுக்கு வந்திருக்கிறீங்க, நம்மெல்லாம் எப்படி பழகிருக்கிறோம், போயிருக்கிறோம். ஆனால் அப்போ நான் உங்களை உணரலை, ஆனால் இப்போ நான் உணரேன் சுவாமி. உங்களுடைய அருள், உங்களுடைய பார்வை என் மீத பட்டா போதும். நான் உங்ககிட்ட வரணும்னு கூட இல்லை. என்னுடைய எண்ணமானது உங்ககிட்ட கொண்டு வந்து உங்களுடைய ஞாபகம் என் மீத பட்டா அதுவே போதும். என் தாயார் சுகமாக இருக்கணும், இதை தான் நான் வேண்டிக்குவேன் சுவாமி கிட்ட கூட. இப்போதைக்கு நான் இப்போ ரொம்ப வருந்துறேன். எனக்கு அது எப்படி சொல்லுவதுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியலை. நினச்சா கண் கலங்குது.
Yes, we finished the first testimonial. So now we'll be moving on to the next testimonial before we get on to the second session of today's International Yoga Day Festival. So we'll be moving on to the second testimonial.
என் பேர் சுப்பிரமணியன், கிருத்திக மண்டலம் சி சுப்பிரமணியன், திருவண்ணாமலை அருணாச்சல தேவஸ்தானம் கிருத்திக மண்டலம். கஷ்டப்பட்டாந்தவர். அவர் சண்முகன்றவர். சண்முகம் என் பேர் சுப்பிரமணியன். கிருத்திக மண்டலம் சி சுப்பிரமணியன். திருவண்ணாமலை அருணாச்சல தேவஸ்தானம். கிருத்திக மண்டலம் 1973 இருந்து 2012 வரைக்கும் அண்ணாமலையாருக்கு நான் பூ கட்டினேன். கிருத்திக மண்டலத்தில் 60 ரூபா சம்பளத்திலிருந்து 14,000 ரூபா சம்பளம் வரைக்கும் நான் வேலை இருந்தேன். நான் ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் ஆகிட்டேன். ரிட்டையர்மெண்ட் ஆன பிற்பாடு அந்த எங்கள் பையன் பூ கட்டுறான் அண்ணாமலையாருக்கு. அஞ்சே முக்காவுக்கெல்லாம் ரகுபதி யோகி வருவார். 5:45 வருவார். அந்த இடத்த வந்து பெருக்கி தண்ணி கொண்டாந்து தெளிப்பார். தண்ணி கொண்டாந்து தெளித்து அந்த மண்டபத்தெல்லாம் தண்ணி தெளிச்சிட்டு லேசாக பெருக்கிட்டு வாசப்படி தண்ணி தெளிப்பார். தெளிச்சிட்டு பெருக்கிட்டு உட்காருவார். உட்காந்து படுங்கள்லாம் வருவாங்க. இவங்கெல்லாம் வந்த பிற்பாடு யோகாசனம் கற்றுக் கொடுப்பார். கற்றுக் கொடுத்தாருன்னா சுவாமி நித்யானந்த சுவாமி அவங்க அண்ணன் சிந்தியில் அண்ணாண்ட வந்து அவங்க கூட வர சம்பத்து. அது பிற்பாடு வந்து மிச்ச பேர் வளைகாத்திலிருந்து நாராயணசாமி, அண்ணாண்ட ஆறுமுகம், அண்ணாண்ட முனுசாமி, அண்ணாண்ட கண்ணு, அவங்கெல்லாம் ஒரு 10 பேர் வருவாங்க. அந்த இவர் பேர் அந்த அரிசிமண்டிக்கார் பையன் 2 பேர் வருவாங்க. பேர் நல்ல பேர் ரைஸ் மில்கார் ஓனர் பசங்க 2 பேர் வருவாங்க. சண்முகன்றவர் வருவார். வளைகாரத்துலேருந்து சண்முகன்றவர் அவங்க தாத்தா கூட ராஜமூலியார் கூட பார்ட்னராக கஷ்டப்பட்டாந்தவர். அவர் சண்முகன்றவர். சண்முகம் வளையல் காலத்துலேருந்து சண்முகம் நித்தியப்படி இருப்பார். சண்முகம் சாமி வந்து நித்யானந்த சாமி வந்து குரங்கு மாதிரி ஏறுவார். தூணில் கீழே மேல் தான் ஏறுவார். மேலே கீழே ஏறி அது கத்துவார். இது மாதிரி சத்தம் போடுவார். ஊழம் விடுவார். ரகுபதி யோகி கற்றுக் கொடுப்பார். இப்படி போ அப்படி போகணும் உதுன்னுவார். ரகுபதி யோகி அந்த சுவாமி சுப்பிரமணியர் உட்கார மேடையில் இப்படி அந்த ரகத்தில் மாதிரி ஒரு 4 வருடம் அப்படி தூக்குவார். இப்படி உட்காருவார். சப்பலாமல் போட்டு உட்காந்து அப்படி தூக்குவார். ஜம்ப் பண்ணி தூக்குற மாதிரி அந்த ரகத்தில் ஏறி அந்த ரகத்தில் உட்காந்து 4 நிமிஷம் 3 நிமிஷம் அப்படியே அழுக்காக இருப்பார். அவர் யோகாசனம் கற்றுதான் அப்படி ரகுபதி யோகத்து இருந்தார். அந்த மண்டபத்தில் மேடை சுப்பிரமணியர் மேடையில் தான் உட்காந்து கற்றுக்கிட்டு நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். நித்யானந்த சுவாமி அந்த கிருத்திக மண்டபம் தூணில் ஒரு தூண்டை ஏறாத தூண் கிடையாது. அந்த 36 தூண் அந்த தூணில் ஏறாத தூண் கிடையாது. 4 தூண் தான் அந்த பக்கம் ஏற முடியாது. 4 செவில் வச்சதுல இது பூராமே ஏறுவார். பயிற்சி பண்ணுவார். தலைக்கே இப்படி கீழ்ந்து மேல்தான் ஏறுவார். இப்படி கொம்பு பார்த்த அந்த பொம்மைகளை பிடிச்சிட்டு ஏறுவார். பொம்மைகளை பிடிச்சி ஏறி நான் பார்த்துருக்கேன். சுற்றி பூஞ்செடி இருக்கும். அதுக்கு வந்து துளசி செடி இருக்கும். வந்து இந்த நஞ்சாவட்டம் செடி இருக்கும். அதுக்கெல்லாம் தண்ணி கொண்டு ஊற்றுவாங்க. தொட்டியிலேருந்து முன்பு ஊற்றிட்டு நாகலிங்க மரத்துக்கு தண்ணி ஊற்றுவாங்க. நாகலிங்க மரத்தில் இருந்து புஷ்பத்தை எடுத்து முருகருக்கு வைப்பாங்க. நாகலிங்க மரத்தில் ஏறி பூ எடுத்து முருகருக்கு வைப்பாங்க. மணி 7:45 8 மணிக்கெல்லாம் மணி 7:45 8 மணிக்கெல்லாம் 7:45க்கெல்லாம் 8 ஆகாட்டி பள்ளிக்கூடம் கன்னியாகுமரி கோயில் பள்ளிக்கூடத்துக்கு வீட்டுக்கு போய் அப்புறம் பள்ளிக்கூடம் போயிடுவாங்க. நித்தியப்படி தினந்தோறும் அவங்க வந்து 5:45 6 அங்கே மண்டபத்தை வந்து ஆயிடுவாங்க. மண்டபத்தை வந்து தாக்கலாடாங்க. நாளே கிடையாது. ஒரு நாளில் பேரா மழை பெஞ்சாலும் அவங்க வருவாங்க. வராத நாள் இல்லை. என்ன மழை பெஞ்சாலும் அவங்க வருவாங்க. வந்து யோகாசனம் கற்றுக்கணும். சுவாமியை பார்க்கும்போது பார்த்தா அண்ணாமலையார் உள்ள பார்த்த மாதிரி தான் அவருக்கு தெரியும். அதில் ஒன்றும் சந்தேகம் கிடையாது. சுவாமி ஒரு வடாதிபதி. இப்படிதான் 4வது திருவண்ணாமலையில் வந்து முதல் சேஷாத்ரி, 2வது ரமண மகரிஷி, 3வது விசிறி சாமி, 4வது வந்து நித்யானந்த சாமி. நான் சின்ன வயசுலேருந்து வண்டி விட மாட்டேன், சைக்கிள் விட மாட்டேன். அண்ணாமலையார் கோயிலுக்கு நான் நடந்து தான் போவேன், நடந்து தான் வருவேன். அவங்க பாட்டி வந்து நல்ல நித்யானந்த சுவாமிக்கு அவங்க அம்மாவுக்கு அவங்க அப்பா ராஜமூலியார் சம்சாரம் அவங்க அம்மா தெரியும், அவங்க மாமியாரும் தெரியும். அதே மாதிரி அனுசூய ஆணை எடுத்ததுல ரப்பர் சாம்பு அண்ணாமலை முதலியார் ஆணை எடுத்ததுல அண்ணாமலை முதலியார் அனுசூயா குடும்பமும் நல்ல பழக்கம். 2 வீடுமே எனக்கு வந்து சின்ன பிள்ளைலேருந்து எனக்கு பழக்கம். 8 வயசுலேருந்து 2 வீடுமே எனக்கு பழக்கம். இவங்க அவங்கன்னு இல்லை. அப்புறம் தான் மண்டபத்துக்கு வந்தது. சின்ன பிள்ளைங்களான பழக்கம் தான் எனக்கு அவங்க மண்டபத்துக்கு வந்தால் நம்ம ராஜமொழியார் பேர அனுசூயம்மா பேரன்னு தெரிஞ்சு நித்யானந்தம்.
Now that we have seen these 2 testimonials, we will be moving on to the next session named Introduction to Kailasa Shuddhi Kriyas. You will shortly